Good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome back to Google Classroom. Today, I will discuss with you a new chapter, chapter 15. The name of the chapter is Data Handling. So first of all, we come to know that what is data handling? Data handling is a process in which we collect, gather, record and present the data or information in a way that is helpful to others using graphs and charts. Okay, you have seen different types of graphs, pictographs, bar graphs and charts that represent data, and using these graphs or charts we can interpret the data or the information from graphs or charts. We will first discuss about pictograph. What is pictograph? That is pictorial representation of data. Here I am going to discuss with you pictorial representation of data. In this, the term is pictograph. Pictograph is the term which is defined as the data which we represent in the form of pictures. The data that is represented by us in the form of pictures, that representation is called pictograph. Suppose we have to represent data as the number of cars produced by a company in different years. Suppose a data given to us that years and here number of cars produced by the company in different years it is produced. Here suppose it is given 2019, 2020 and now 2021. In these years, the cars produced by the company given. Suppose here 10,000, 15,000 and 20,000. This information that we have to represent by pictograph. So we are seeing years and number of cars. We will take two columns to represent this information using pictograph. In one column we write years and in another column we write number of cars. To represent the car, we can take the symbol of car and we write that one symbol of car is equal to 5,000 cars. Means car symbol we draw, one symbol of cars is equal to 5,000 cars. So how to represent this information in pictograph, look at the board. As I told you, you will take two columns. Okay. In these two columns, in one you will write number of cars, and in another you will write, suppose here I am writing years, and here I am writing number of cars. Now we have three successive years given. So up to here, in 2019, I am going to draw one car here. Suppose this represents, means here we write one car represents this one car is equal to 5,000 cars. Okay. Means 10,000 cards represent, then we show two cars. Okay. To show 15,000 cars in 2020, we can draw here three cars. And one more here. This symbol represents cars. Then in 2021, we will draw four cars. Okay. Now, from this pictorial representation, it is clear that in 2009, total number of cars produced 10,000, since one car represents 5,000 cars. One symbol of car. Here 3, so 15,000. Here 4, so 20,000 cars produced in 2021. So this is the pictorial representation of data. Okay. Now, this pictorial representation of data using symbol is easy to represent and easy to understand the relationship between the quantities. However, the representation of the numerical data in pictograph is not very practical. It is time consuming. So, to represent a numerical data using bar graphs is more convenient to understand and easy to draw. That's why we use bar graphs to represent numerical data, which is more convenient and less time consuming. Means a pictorial representation of the numerical data by a number of bars. Bars we draw using rectangles of uniform width erected horizontally or vertically by both ways, and that type of representation is best suited for numerical data, okay, and called bar graphs. So try to understand about bar graphs. It was about pictograph. Now I am going to discuss with you bar graphs. Our next topic is bar graph. Bar graphs can be drawn by two ways. We can draw vertical bar graphs also and horizontal bar graphs also. Okay, vertical bar graphs are the bar graphs in which we draw the bars on axis which is horizontal to the ground or parallel to the ground, and in horizontal bar graph we draw the bars which is vertical on the vertical axis. That is, first we take two vertical axis which is two axes which is vertical to each other, means one we take here and another we take here. This axis is called vertical axis and this axis is called horizontal axis. There are some rules to draw bar graphs. It is also called x-axis, x-axis, and it is called y-axis. Okay. When we draw bar graphs, we take here the width of the bars same throughout, the spacing between the bars also same throughout the representation. Means there are certain points which we have to keep in mind to draw bar graphs, and these points are: the width of the bar should be uniform throughout, the gap between the bars and the gap between one bar and another bar should be uniform throughout. Bars may be either horizontal or vertical. Okay. Look at here. Another one I am showing. Two cases. Here is y-axis again, and here is x-axis. If we are taking here a scale, in this example, I am going to represent number of students which scored marks in different subjects. So when I have to draw a vertical bar graph, that time I will take the number of students on vertical axis. Suppose here it is 50, it is 100, sorry, it is 20, it is 40, 60, 80 and 100. And here I will take the subject's name. Okay, means maths, English, Hindi, subjects in which number of marks, or these are the subjects in which how many students passed in an exam. I am going to represent using vertical bar graph. Suppose in mathematics 50 students passed. So I will take from here one bar graph I will draw, which represents 50 students passed in mathematics. This point on the vertical axis means 50. Now here in English, suppose in English 70 students passed, then the width of the graph should be same, and gap between graph also should be same. Suppose 60 students passed in Hindi, then we can draw graph like this, and 80 students passed in science, then we can draw like this. So these are the bars which have been drawn for the number of students passed in the given subjects. And this type of graph is called vertical bar graph. Is it clear? Now I am going to draw horizontal bar graph. In this case, I will write marks here on x-axis 20, 40, 60, 80 and 100. These are the marks in the subjects, and here I am writing the subjects. First I am writing maths, then English, then Hindi, then science. Now, in maths, 50 students passed, so we can draw a bar like this, which is parallel to the horizontal axis and vertical on y-axis. Then in English, 65 students, so here we will draw. Then 60 in Hindi, then here we draw 60. Sorry, 70 in Hindi, not 60. And now 80 in science. So these are the two types of graphs that we can draw for the given data. The graph, this side is called horizontal bar graph, horizontal bar graph, and this side graph is called vertical bar graph, vertical bar graph. Okay. I hope these two types of bar graphs are clear to you. If bar graph is given, you can also you can read and understand or interpret the bar graph. Interpreting bar graph means you can read the given bar graph and you can answer the same questions given related to the bar graph, that what is represented by the bar graph, and some questions that is related to the bar graph you can answer when you interpret a bar graph or any of the graph. I hope you understood the pictorial representation in the form of pictures and in the form of bar graphs. You have given exercise 15.1 and here 3 questions given. These questions I will discuss with you in Google Meet. I hope all of you will be in Google Meet on Tuesday. So I will discuss in our class. You will watch video and understand. You have book also given some examples that you will read, you will understand, and you will try to do questions of exercise 15.1. So your homework will be exercise 15.1. Thank you.